opening is, have you ever had to make a decision that cost you something, but you would still make it again? Sometimes obedience to God looks bold, sometimes restraint looks costly. Vashti's story sits in this. I just want to give you some background. Most of us know Vashti was married to King Xerxes. Okay, she had it going on. She had her own palace where she was entertaining the women at the time that we're going to be talking about. We know that she had great wealth. She was well respected. She was a woman of the Persian culture, which was very, very lavish. They were the biggest empire there was until the Roman Empire came into play. So we're going to go to Esther 1 and 10 through 12. Can somebody read that for us on today? Because we do want this. Because I want you to know that I ain't making this up. Esther 1, 10 through 12. And if you find it, you can read it for us, please.
Now, it came to pass. You said Esther 1?
Esther 1, 10 through 12.
Okay. On the seventh day, when the heart of the king was merry with the wine, and commanded. Lord Jesus, I'm trying to redo the ants.
That's the
He commanded.
1 and 10.
1 and 10
Yes,
through 12.
All right, let me see. I got it. I'm coming. Now these are thy servants, and then thy people, whom thou hast redeemed by thy.
Esther? Is that Esther 1?
Esther.
Oh,
It's Esther 1 and 10, right? Esther 1 and 10.
Yes, ma'am.
Everything hit me in my ear.
Them little
It
ants.
said on the seventh day, when the heart of the king was merry with wine, I'm trying to read it again. He commanded, what's that?
Mahumim.
Human.
Can you read it with your eyes? I got it. He commanded Mahumim,
Found some glasses.
Biztha, Harbana, Bigtha,
Yep.
and Abagtha, Zethar, and Carcass, the 7 chamberlains that served in the presence of Ahasuerus, the king.
You read that fast.
To bring, keep reading? Okay. To bring Vashti the queen before the king with the crown royal, to shew the people and the princes her beauty, for she was fair to look on. But the queen Vashti refused to come at the king's commandment by his chamberlains. Therefore was the king very wroth, and his anger burned in him.
Keep on reading.
Then the king said to the wise men, which knew the times, for so was the king's manner toward all that knew law and judgment. And the next unto him was Kashina, Shethar, Admatha, Tarshish, Meres, Marsina, and Mamukan, the 7 princes of Persia and Media, which saw the king's face, and which sat the first in the kingdom. What shall we do unto the queen Vashti according to law? Because she had not performed the commandment of the king Ahasuerus by the chamberlains. And Mamukan answered before the king and the princes, Vashti the queen had not done wrong to the king only, but also to all the princes, and to all the people that are in all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus. For this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women, so that they shall despise their husbands in their eyes when it shall be reported. The king Ahasuerus commanded Vashti, the queen, to be brought in before him, but she came not. Likewise shall the ladies of Persia and Media say this day unto all the king's princes, which have heard of the deed of the queen. Thus shall there arise too much contempt and wrath. If it please the king, let there go a royal commandment from him, and let it be written among the laws of the Persians and Medes, that it be not altered, that Vashti come no more before King Ahasuerus, and let the king give her royal estate unto another that is better than she. And when the king's decree which he shall make shall be published throughout all his empire, for it is great, all the wives shall give to their husbands honor, both to great and small. And the saying pleased the king and the princes. And the king did according to the word of Memucan. For he sent letters into all the king's provinces, into every province according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language, that every man should bear rule in his own house, and that it should be published according to the language of every people.
Now, this particular version does not reveal to us
Yes.
that Vashti was requested to come
Mhm.
before them naked.
Yes.
But only when they said her crown, that's what it meant.
Yep.
Her crown. He wanted her to appear before all these drunken men
Yes.
with just her royal crown, which he had given her, because she was chosen by him, and she refused.
Yes.
Now she's doing her own thing in her own palace with the
Yes.
women, and they carrying on and doing what they do. This party had gone on for 6 months. They were drunk as skunk. All right? They were drunk as skunk. Okay?
She knew they were gonna be disrespected. She won't do it.
Now she's a queen. Now she knows that what he said went.
Right.
Now let's think about this. Here she is in all her glory. Here she is with all that he had given her. And he asks her to appear before him naked with just a crown.
I know.
And as my husband and I was talking, I said to him, if a man loves you, and if a man respects you, he don't want nobody else.
Just look at you. That's right.
See what you got.
You on display.
He would not take the chance of allowing, but we're talking about a king. And he wants his wife, his queen, to show up, walk into his palace completely naked with just her crown. How many of us would have done that?
Because in that day, like you said, the women listened to their men. What the men said went.
They had no
And
right.
there was consequences.
Yes.
Yeah.
At that time, women did not hold an opportunity to run their own lives. They were their husband's property.
They had to do what they
That's
said
right.
because of the power that they had as that king.
That's right. So here you as a woman, you've lived in luxury all this time. She knew what the royal law was. She knew if she disobeyed that she was going to lose her title and everything that came along with it.
She could have lost her life as well.
And there are some women, and then by the way she did what she did, it would have caused the rest of the women to disrespect their husbands the same way that she did.
This is how the men felt.
Yeah.
But this wasn't what the women, this is what the men were saying. They're saying if you don't bring your wife out here and let her parade with just her crown on, then the women, because the women was in her palace.
That's right.
They're gonna say, well, if Queen Vashti didn't do that, I ain't got to do it either. Woo. So then that shows you how men felt about the women. Because when you love something, you're not going to just put that out there. You're not just going to let that woman go out there and let every other man see what you sleep with at night. So for her to be able to say to him, no. And it wasn't just one time, he even gave her a second time. Just in case she had drank too much. Okay? And she didn't know what she was getting ready to lose. Okay? Sent him back again. And she told him, no, I'm not going to do that. And because she said no, she became a forgotten queen. She's never mentioned again. I've looked high and low trying to research. They don't even mention her name.
No, they don't.
It's almost like she never, ever existed. And so I was saying to my husband, we like to identify with Esther.
Yeah.
Because Esther was then chosen But what about all these forgotten women?
Yeah.
All these women who married men, built lives with them, had children with them, and then one day after they done built up this stuff, he finds a young woman who becomes the secretary or whatever, and before you know it,
Everything that helped him build what he had.
she becomes a forgotten
Yeah.
woman. So we don't want to be the forgotten woman. We want to be Esther.
Uh-huh.
I got you.
You understand what I'm trying to say? Because that's all we talk about. I have not yet heard a preacher or teacher teach from this aspect. That if Vashti had not done what she did, there would have not been an opportunity, an open door for the Esther.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's why we as women, and we say that we're holy women, and that we are women of integrity, that's why we have to carry ourselves a certain way. Whether he stays or leaves,
That's
we
right.
ought to still be the same.
That's right.
Okay? And I was telling my husband, because we have a lot
I
of
heard God down in line here, I want to stay with me yesterday.
but what has she suffered? I says, what have you given up in your own personal life? You write his messages and you know he's not living the life, my sister.
We're just getting free because our grandmothers stayed in those marriages, took them for the sake of the look. Now they're looking at
For the church.
When I got married young, and my grandmother, I could not divorce
I
until
met
she
this young
died.
lady at the thrift store, y'all. I just want to know when she came. I'm author of several books. We're gonna talk about that later on. But thank you so much for coming. Okay.
But I couldn't get a divorce till she died because she's like, you're not gonna embarrass me at my house.
They didn't like that.
No, you wasn't allowed to do it. It was just a cross we had to carry.
The men had
Now that we're independent
And
and,
some churches still look at you like, oh, she divorced him, she's not holy. They still do it.
Right.
Yeah.
And now, let me say this, and that does not give us, or man or woman, a license to, well, just because I don't like you, I'm not gonna be with you no more, I'm gonna find somebody else.
Yeah.
That's a different situation.
Yeah.
But when you, I tell people, don't stay I ain't staying in a relationship where I'm abused,
That's right.
No, that's right.
mentally or physically.
That's right.
It ain't gonna happen.
No.
And so I will not, now, when you cancel people, you have to be careful in saying stuff like that. You know, I wouldn't tell nobody, well, you better go, I would leave him, I just wouldn't bother him. No, I'm not telling you that. You make that decision, but I'm telling you that, hey, you don't have to be in a situation where you feel like, or somebody make you feel like you're less than, or they abusing you, and you can't function. I just don't believe God is pleased with that. I just don't believe that. But the thing is that we know how much we can bear. God knows how much we can bear as well. But I'm not gonna tell nobody to stay in an abusive relationship and where you can't function, you can't even have a relationship with the Lord because you're so caught up in, or you so bound in a situation. But I would not tell a woman nor a man, leave your husband or leave your wife. I won't. That'll be your decision. But I would tell you what, I believe that, hey, if you want to have a relationship with the Lord and a good relationship and one where you can be free, then you need to free yourself so you can be free.
But I was in the church one time, Pastor, where the mothers of the church, like Mother Ward, this lady in the congregation was having those problems with her husband. She was being abused. He would beat this woman to pieces. And she went to them, she'd taken all she could take, and she felt that she should leave him because she was tired of being beaten. And they told her to stay there with that man. And she wanted to leave. She stayed there with that man, and 1 minute later, the man killed the woman. And after he killed the woman, then the mothers in the church said, I'll never tell another woman to stay with a man. And see, in the first place, just like you said, you don't tell no woman to stay with a man, because it can happen. She either kill him or he kill her. It can happen. Because things escalate. Fear will cause you to do a lot of things.
They put pastor wives on a pedestal,
Mm-hmm.
like as though, you know, you don't want to say they're higher than anybody else, but we shouldn't have some of these titles.
No.
Oh, that's what you think? Oh, y'all, 'cause that's a
No,
whole nother
because
thing.
They have to uphold a standard in the church. That is.
Well, back in the day, it was different.
Before
As I was
things
saying to my
passed,
husband,
yes.
when I was coming up, when you had a first lady, okay, I told him dressing was very pivotal, because what happened was, whatever the first lady, however she dressed, however she walked, she talked, you would find the young women mimicking that.
That's
Right.
right.